Some people in Nigeria still believe that a car is a liability and not an asset. And some people argue that a car is an asset, not a liability. So I'll be sharing my perspective on whether a car is an asset or a liability. So if you buy a new car today, the moment you drive it out from the dealership space, the car begin to depreciate. Even if you want to sell it back to the dealership, you want to return it, some of them will cut out a particular percentage. So if you had paid 100,000 naira for the car, you can't get back your 100,000 naira. So if that is the context, yes, a car is a liability. But many people actually say a car is a liability from the perspective of Robert Kiyosaki. I'm a big fan of Robert Kiyosaki and I've been reading his books for a while too, and I agree with a lot of things he said. But some of the things he said does not apply in Nigeria. One of the things Robert Kiyosaki said was about a car used privately is a liability, but a car used as a taxi is an asset. I beg to differ because our situation in Nigeria is somewhat different. So I'll give different reasons why a car is an asset in Nigeria and not a liability. Number one is the exchange rate. So a car can serve as a store of value. In this context, I'm not talking about a new car, a Tokumbo car or a Nigerian used car. Yes. So if you buy a new car, that's a different story for another day. So if you buy a Tokumbo car or a Nigerian used car, it is a store of value. So for example, the car I bought like some 3 years or is it 4 years ago, I can sell it for almost double the price now. Why? Because of exchange rate. There is no way Robert Kiyosaki could have factored in the Naira dollar exchange rate into his thought process. So if you are digesting his thought process, you need to personalize it. That's why the word is known as personal finance. That means it's personal to everybody. So you need to think about what some of these motivational speakers say. This your own environment. Now back to Nigeria. The exchange rate makes it more profitable because if you buy a car is a dollar-based asset. What I mean by that is that as dollar goes up, the price of your car goes up. Then you and I know what has happened in the last few years. Yeah, that the Naira keeps gaining strength, but we know it has not consistently gained strength in a very long time. Maybe like it just happened, maybe like one gaining strength and it comes down back. So that way, if you bought a Tokumbo car for let's say 4 million naira 3 years ago, if you want to sell that same car, not even as a Tokumbo, now as a Nigerian use, you will still be able to sell it for that 4 million naira because of the exchange rate. So that is number one. The number two reason why a car is an asset, it is a highly liquid asset. I mean, it's an asset that you can easily sell. If I decide to sell my car today, within 5 days or would I even say 5 days, within 5 days or a week, if my price is not too high, I'm going to get a buyer. And that makes it very liquid and easy to convert to cash. Maybe if I want to japa, I can just sell the car. So it helps me save your money. And number three reason why I would advise a young guy who is contemplating on whether to get a car or not to get a car to buy it as it is an asset is that it is a store of value. I remember in my own case, I was saving money in different accounts, not towards buying a car. Actually, I was just saving the money in different accounts. If I need money for anything, I will take it out. So when I reached the mark that was substantial to buy my car, if I had left it in cash in my bank, there's a tendency that I would have had smaller needs that would have warranted that I go to withdraw the money, withdraw 300k today, or maybe I want to buy a plasma TV, I withdraw 400k the next day. Oh, this is his iPhone, maybe like what iPhone was maybe like iPhone XS Max that year. I got to buy the iPhone XS Max 400,000. The money won't be substantial to do something heavy at once, to do something huge at once. So when I buy the car, so it helps me lock the value of that money. So I can't start selling my tires. So I have that amount of money locked. So that's another reason to consider getting a car. Then number four reason is the fact that I'm not talking about those of you that are considering buying Lamborghini. I mean for young guys like myself that are just starting life and maybe just want to buy a Spider or a Muzzle or a end of discussion, cross door, or maybe a Corolla or any other car. If you're broke, you can use the car to run ride hailing service. You don't have to be a permanent or constant Uber driver. Yeah, I did it for like a month plus at the time when I was broke. I think that was like some month after buying the car. Remember, I took almost all my savings to buy the car, and a few months after that, I was broke and tried to struggle before I got a very good project in my freelance, and then I was so for that 1 month or thereabout. Like yeah, I was using the car to run Uber when I am free. That means like when you buy the car, it becomes an investment that if the need arises, you can use it. So if, for example, you suddenly got sacked from your job, from your 9 to 5 job, the car is there for you to at least feed your family or feed you for maybe like the next few weeks or few months till you get the next job. So the car is not a liability in that context, it is an asset. So I would like you to comment below. If you think a car is a liability, give your points. And if you think a car is an asset, let me know in the comments below.